Deadpool 2 surprisingly had a lot of emotional scenes for it to be an action comedy. But is it even more emotional than Infinity War? Warning: we've got spoilers for both Deadpool 2 and Infinity War. If you haven't seen either, come back here to read on when you do. Welcome to the year 2018, where superhero movies of all things will make you cry, or at least pull at your heartstrings. Strange enough, Deadpool 2 is among those emotional superhero movies. Coming into the theater, you'd never expect a movie about a foul-mouthed, chimichanga-loving anti-hero to have some emotionally moving moments, but it did. So compared to Avengers, Infinity War, which had its own roller coaster ride of emotional scenes, did the comical Deadpool 2 surpass it as a more emotional superhero movie? First, let's look at what was at stake in Deadpool 2. This was a big coming-of-age movie of sorts for Wade Wilson, who's never lost more than he had up until this point. Right at the beginning of the movie, he witnesses the love of his life, Vanessa, get murdered in front of his very eyes. And Wade pretty much beats himself up the whole movie because he wasn't able to save her. Yes, we get periods of absurd comedy and bloodshed galore, but the underlying theme of the movie follows Wade's quest to get things right. Of course, the scene where Vanessa dies is incredibly sad, but what about the part when Wade finally meets her on the other side? He had solved the riddle, and came back to her looking like the beautiful Ryan Reynolds he's always been on the inside. Granted, it took Wade like 20 tries to die. But when he did, it'd be hard for anyone to try to suppress the waterworks. Looking at how emotional those scenes were, it's not easy to compare it to Infinity War. Both movies hit you with a hard death scene right from the beginning. And Infinity War's emotional pacing is right on par with Deadpool 2, although Infinity War is a lot more of a heavy movie. The one point where the movies diverge is the ending. For Wade and the crew, we get a happy ending, knowing that he can return to his F-word, our family, and the kid no longer becomes a hapless murderer. Even Cable has a change of heart come the end of the movie. On the other hand, Infinity War ends on a bit of a drab note. We get that final line from Peter Parker, and then boom. The movie's over, the bad guy won. And Cable, we mean Thanos, doesn't have a change of heart. So, is Deadpool 2 more emotional than Infinity War? Well, Infinity War certainly has an edge on Deadpool 2. But the fact that a Deadpool movie could even be emotional in the first place was a kicker that no one really saw coming. Each movie is pretty sad, but at least Deadpool 2 is the one with the happy ending. Related story: Deadpool 2 is bigger and bloodier, but not quite better. Both movies carried their own emotional weight. Do you think Infinity War or Deadpool 2 was the more emotional movie?